So what do you do if your oven, your gas oven, does not get hot when you turn it on? Well, there's a couple of places it might falter. The most common one of those is this device right here next to the burner, that cylindrical thing, which is called the Hot Surface Ignitor. And that igniter is bad. I'll show you how you can test it and how to replace it. This particular stove, oven, range, whatever you want to call it, is a GE Spectra XL44. I have the model number down here in case anybody's interested in that. Over here, just you can see if you have something similar. But it really doesn't make much of a difference. The main thing is these Hot Surface Ignitors come in two styles. They come in the round style like that, and there's also a square style. So if you got the square style, you can still watch this video. It'll give you an idea, but it's not really the same way to change it. So in order to do that, first things first, you want to test it. So we got to get some tools together. So here's the tool tray. And basically for this, the one thing you are absolutely going to need is a stubby 1/4 inch wrench like this. Optional would be a 1/4 inch socket and a bunch of really long extensions. A multimeter if you want to test it instead of just throwing parts at it. You'll need some wire cutters and strippers, maybe an additional work light. I happen to have a drop light right there. And the one other most important thing besides a screwdriver that you might need is beer. Beer is a very important tool and you will need that. So set that aside for now. You can sample the quality whenever you're ready. But I'll show you how to test this now. So first things first, just to check out to make sure your igniter is no good, you're going to want to take the bottom panel out of the oven, and it's very simple to do that. In the back, right there, you will see a thumb screw, and on the other side there's another thumb screw. Take those out, and that panel simply lifts up and out from the bottom of the oven, revealing the burner tube and the Hot Surface Igniter. Turn it on, you'll hear a click. Right there, and you should see that igniter start to glow. I'll give you an example of what that looks like. The broiler on this unit uses the same thing, the same Hot Surface Igniter, and you'll see it starts glowing. Once it gets up to temperature, it'll turn on the gas valve, and there you go. So if this igniter is not starting to glow, it most likely is the problem, but we're going to meter that now and find out for certain. So in order to do that, safety third, disconnect the oven from its electrical supply and turn the gas off. Because I'm a ninja, I don't need that shit. And you'll see the gas is still on and the power is still on. But don't try that at home, because you don't want to do that. Now, under here, there's going to be a few things that you're going to be concerned with. Here's what you're concerned with, number one. First and foremost, this is the gas valve, and there's a wire right here that you're going to need to disconnect. So we can disconnect that right now. Okay. And there's another wire that runs through this hole in this connector on the yellow wire. This pulls apart. It's keyed, so it only fits together in one orientation, but it pulls apart. Unfortunately, I need two hands for that, so I can't show you how to do that, but it simply pulls apart. It's going to be uncomfortable to get under here, but hey, you're saving at least $5,000 by doing it yourself, so you might as well. Pull that apart, and do not let this wire fall through that hole, because otherwise you're going to have to fish it out, and it's not going to make for a very nice and enticing experience replacing this. Okay, here we have a volt ohm meter, which is currently set on the continuity test, so it'll beep when you touch the probes together here. Okay, just to give you the idea. And now we have the disconnected wire there and the disconnected wire there. So you're going to hook your probes up to that, and you'll notice we are still reading open circuit. That's what you want to see to prove that your igniter is no good. If you want to make sure there's no other problems, what you can also do is you can meter that yellow wire that's left there, and I'll show you how to do that. For that, take your probes out. Okay. Remember, you should always have the power off, but for this next test you will need it on. We're going to change over to 200 volt AC scale, which is right there. And I'm going to hook one of the probes up, and I'll show you where to put the other one. Okay, you hook one probe up there, doesn't matter which goes where. Other one you can go right up to the thing there, and as soon as the oven clicks on, you should read 120 volts. And there you go. Perfect. When you take your probe off, you read nothing. And you put it back, and if you could shut the oven off, you'll see that in a moment that'll go down to 0. So that means that you're getting voltage going down to this igniter. That's how you test the igniter, and now here's how you're going to replace it. There are 2 bolts that you need to get at, and they're both very difficult to get at. They're behind this pipe. I can't really get in here too well, but this pipe here, you can see right up at the very top, there's that one nut, or I'm sorry, that one bolt, and there's one being hidden by the pipe there. So you're going to need to take both of those out. Now the top one you can get at with a 1/4-inch socket. Okay, what I have here is a 1/4-inch socket on a very, very long extension, and you can push up on this plate here till you get on it, and then you can go ahead and turn that to get it out. So I'm going to do that. I need 2 hands for a minute. Well, actually, I almost got it. Now for that other bolt that's hidden there, you can take your little 1/4-inch wrench here and get on that, and then you can loosen that up. But again, it's going to take me 2 hands to do that. So I'm going to probably do that and then come back, because you don't have much room to work here, but it's a fairly short screw. Okay, now inside the oven there's one more bolt, which is right here you'll need to take out. Okay, so you can just loosen that up. And once you have that out, once you have that, you can just grab the entire burner assembly here and just wiggle it and pull the entire thing out, leads and all. And here's the piece that we came for. 2 more 1/4-inch bolts on it. My replacement. Now, they're kind of generic replacements. I bought this one off of Amazon. This one was $20.50, including free shipping. And if you'll notice, it actually has some new brackets here, which you may or may not need. Set that aside. It has 2 ceramic wire nuts, which you will need. So put those aside, your little instruction booklet. And here's the new one. Now for mine, there's not much I need to do. You'll notice whatever company I got this from packed it in this nice foam that is form-fitting around it. But you'll notice the plugs are different. There is one with a spade terminal, like that, and the other one is bare wire. On the old one, we have a spade terminal and this funny looking thing. So we're going to have to cut this and wire nut it on the new one. Before you do that, like I had mentioned, this is packed up really nice. The reason why is because this piece is very delicate, so you want to be very careful with it. Don't jostle it, don't bump it around or anything like that. Okay, so here's the new one all wired up. One end of it has the original, or rather the replacement spade connector here. This one is not insulated, but it really doesn't matter because there's really nothing under there it's going to short against. And over here is the included ceramic wire nut, just tied right onto the old piece with that funny looking connector. So you take this, it goes in this orientation as you see. You put the plate right on top like that, till the holes line up, and put the bolts in. You don't have to go in there, because that's not how it was. It was that way, so that's the way I'm going to put it back, because that's the way I found it. Okay, we have the new igniter, hot surface igniter, mounted to the gas burner tube. Now, the gas jet is going to be inserted into there. The gas jet is found in the back underneath where you took those 2 bolts out originally. And if you look down in here, you will see that brass or gold colored thing is the gas jet. So you want to make sure that when you put this back, that this fits right over that, and then you'll just move it around just till the holes in this bracket here line up underneath the oven, and the one hole over here lines up with the hole there. So now we're going to go and install that. You'll need to make sure that these wires make their way down. And I may not get this first try, but we'll see, because I'm trying to hold the camera obviously at the same time. I'm going to have to feed the wires down. Or guide them down like that. I should be able to pull them down later. Or push them down. Just like that. And now you'll notice that we're certainly not on that gas jet, so now it's going to take a little finagling till we get that just right. It would be helpful to have two people, but I only have the one right now, so I'm just going to have to try it until I get it. There it is right there. Nope, I thought I had it. That's it. Okay. And we'll just come back until we line up there. And let's see how we did underneath. Right on. See, that's the thing right there. You got to make sure that that's on there. And then we got to wire it up and put the bolts back. Okay, now that I have that back in place, it will take a little bit of finagling, if you can look right over the pipe there, to get the holes to line up. And you're interested in the one way up in there where you can push up on the bottom here to kind of get at that easier. And you're going to say, but Jay, how in the hell am I going to get in there with the little bolt? It'll fall off and fall down into the abyss there and I'll never get it. Well, the answer is to simply put it in your socket using a little piece of paper towel like that, and that'll hold it even upside down, okay, like that, so it won't fall out. And now I can go and install that. Just make sure you pull that little piece of paper towel out of there, and now we got to get at the other bolt, which is impossible to get at, and we have to use the small wrench for that to get that one in. Okay, so I forged ahead here. I got the two lower bolts in. You can actually see them from here. I put the third one in. The wires are run down, but unfortunately I ran into a small problem. You can see the wire nut that's sitting on that frame there, right about the center of your screen. That was the lead that I connected together that went in through that to that strange connector going through the hole. But it turns out the other one that had that spade terminal that was not insulated was not quite long enough. It was just like an inch too short. So I lopped off the piece from the old one, which had the insulated connector as you see here, and looped that around, and I happen to have another terminal that connected to it, and I just put some heat shrink tubing on it. So that's it. Basically you connect up the connector there, hook that back to your gas valve, double check all your connections, everything here is safe, and now we get to test it. Okay, I've just turned the oven on. You're going to wait for the click to indicate that the relay is fired. There it is. And now you wait and see. Now we'll take a little bit of time for this to come up. And there it starts glowing. And as you wait, it will get brighter and brighter, and brighter and brighter and brighter, until it pulls enough current to open the gas valve. And there you are. Your oven has successfully been repaired. And all it cost was $20 for the part. Labor was pretty easy, if you really think about it. So everything's all set. The only thing left to do is to put the bottom panel back in the oven. It just fits into this channel right over here. Just slides in there, and you have those thumb screws in the back that I showed you in the beginning part of this video. Right back there. You just take those out. I just put them in there, just parked them in there so I wouldn't lose them. And that's really all there is to it. Now this new igniter may work a little bit differently from your old one. My old one tended to light up quicker. This one, as you had noticed, took quite some time, about 20 or 30 seconds until it actually started glowing at all. But once it did, it fired up. And it does work differently from my original one that's in the broiler, but it'll work fine. No worries. Everything's good, so all you got to do is just clean up now and finish your celebratory beer, and you're all set. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you click like and subscribe, because that lets me know that I'm doing a good job making these videos and I can continue to provide them for you. Thanks again for watching. Take care.